Mr. Blion, could you please give a general evaluation of the initiative?
Yes, sorry, it's going to be a very global and general one on what I heard and what I saw during these 3 days. The feeling I've got is, as I said previously in various times of this encounter, is I've got the feeling that there are some very good tools here, in particular in Emilia-Romagna, more globally in Italy. I'm thinking about the Carta di Roma, the manifesto on multicultural communication, what the Corecom is doing in terms of research, in terms of observation and so on. So in a sense, and regarding the topics and issues of Mars, you in a sense you've got the tools. The main issue for me is to know how we can use these tools. As I said also, is in the Council of Europe we produced in the past several recommendations, resolutions, declarations regarding diversity in the media. And like for these tools here in Emilia-Romagna or in Italy, these tools are here just to give guidelines, just to give, maybe it is the way we can go, where we can go. But for journalists, media educators, journalism trainers, the issue now is to know how we are going to use these tools in order to include in our own trainings, in our own education, media education, how we are going to include them in order to be able to open mind, to open our understanding of the world of today, of the European societies like they are today. And when I say like they are, I want to mean they are diverse. So how are we going to be able to use this tool to use all these researches or all these guidelines given by Carta di Roma to be able to take into account all people that are living in society but that are not covered by the news or not taken into account in the news. And when I said taken, that are not taken into account into the news, it's not only to be visible, because you can be visible on the screen, but what are your topics, issues, main debates within your community or in relation to the other communities? Generally, this issue, these issues are not taken into account even if people are visible. I'm just going to take an example. It's not linked to minority people, it's not linked to discrimination based on racial background, it's linked to gender. And I used this example this morning when I said, when you talk about sport media coverage, a female sport, a female athlete has four more chances to be covered by a female journalist. But the news produced regarding sport by a female journalist, by female journalists, represent less than 5%. So what I want to say by this is, you can be on the screen, you can be in the newspaper, in terms of pictures, whatever, but it's not because you are in or on that you are going to be taken into account on what you are thinking, what you want to share with the society, what you want to deal in terms of democratic debate. And this is a very important point. Again, if I took another example regarding gender, we know by the results of the 2010 Global Media Monitoring Project that more than 80% of the news are made by male, for male and with male. That means women represent less than 20% in the news. But when they are in the news, women are generally maybe on a visible position, but generally as an image we see just behind. Women are rarely interviewed for their own expertise, competencies, and so on and so on. And when they are interviewed only for specific topics like health, children, shopping, fashion, whatever. Never or rarely on politics, economics, and so on and so on. That are parts also to the democratic debate. And for us, it's not possible now to conceive, to build real inclusive European society without taking into account all these groups that are belonging to the same society. So to come back on the initial questions, I think you've got the good tools. The problem and the main issue is to know how they can be helpful to be able for journalists, for media people, to include the diversity, the expression of diversity, and the principle of non-discrimination on the way news are produced.